Is this the first time that I'm recording with the new hair? Like when I've done my hair again? No. Well, it has to be because I did my hair only. When did I do my hair? I don't know. I do this every time. Hi, hello, welcome back, Bookish Besties, to another video. As you can see by today's title, we are going to be talking about my top 10 books of 2025. I put off filming this video for a while now because I didn't know what I was going to decide on, but I also didn't know if I wanted to do one because I only read 56 books in 2025. So, like, this is technically like almost 1/6 of what I read for the year. But also it's not 10. It's actually 11 because I have two books tied for 10th. Yeah, I have two books tied for 10th because I just felt like they both needed to be on this list. There was no way I could make this list and not, both of them couldn't be here. So technically it's 11 because two books are in 10th place, but I digress. When I look at them, they're very different, but very on brand for the type of reader I am. So, with that being said, knowing I'm a blabber, I like to blab, I like to yap it up, okay? We're going to hop straight into this. And we're going to go from 10 all the way up to 1. You will be shocked. You will not be shocked for what my number 1 book of the year is. Okay? You will not be shocked for some of these books, okay? So, let's hop right into it. Also, just to let y'all know, I had 5-star reads. Yes, I had 5-star reads that weren't rereads. Either I'm very picky or I just wasn't reading as much as, I wasn't enjoying the reading as much as I thought I was. But, in 10th place, we have Scarred and Belladonna. Like I said, I could not pick. It felt wrong to place this one on here and not have this on here. And it felt wrong to have this on here but not this one. Two, like, very broad spectrums of things, but also at the same time not. Because this is a dark fairy tale retelling of The Lion King. I ate it up. I sure did. If you don't know me, The Lion King is, like, one of my favorite, like, childhood movies that, like, Disney made. Yeah, so having it in, like, book form and, like, Scar. Listen, he may be the bad guy, but he was kinda. Anyways. This book, you're following Sarah and Prince Tristan. Tristan has never been like the golden son, the one everybody picks. He's kind of the outcast. But he wants to rule the throne. He wants to get his brother from becoming the king. He also wants his father to. But the problems arrive when Sarah, his brother's like betrothed, arrives and comes to the picture, and she's much more than just a pretty face that she puts on for everybody. And that's all I'm gonna give you. You need nothing more than that to go in the story. It's so good. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have Belladonna by Adelaide Grace, which is the first book in the Belladonna series. I truly need to hop on reading Fox Club. I'm going to strive to get it onto my February TBR because it's red and pink. Okay? So it's maybe that's the time. But Belladonna, you are following. I can never remember this girl's name. You are following Signa. Pretty much everybody around her, whoever has been around her, goes kaput. They just. Okay? And no matter how many times she tries to die, she can't. Like, she takes Belladonna all the time. Doesn't kill her. Like, death comes for her. Like, she can see death. And so when her last caregiver dies, and then, like, a long relative down the line comes and is like, you can come to us. She gets there, and there's a mystery going on of the lady of the house has recently passed away from something. No one knows really what. And her daughter is also dying from the same thing. But there's a mystery plot here because someone thinks that they are being poisoned. So now Cigna needs to kind of follow the tracks and figure out who is poisoning them and why. And y'all, when I say this was so gothic, fall-esque, like I have not, there hasn't gone a day where I'm like, I wonder what Cigna and Death are up to. It's embarrassing. And I can say that about all these books, but like I'm thinking about these main characters as if we're friends, as if they know me, as if they know me, and like I'm in deep. And I really need to continue on with the series. In ninth place, we have The City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards, which is the first book in the House of Devil series. Another one that I need to continue on with, but I digress. This one, let me tell you, okay? I literally, Darien Castle. Yeah, no. Darien Castle. That's all I gotta say. I cannot for the life of me remember any other character names right now. I'm trying to think of one, but there's someone else in here that I really, really enjoy. Max. Hey. Yeah, no, this book, a lot of people say this is like a copy paste of Crescent City. And as someone who read Crescent City like 2, 3, 4 years ago now, I would say yes, but also no. They're very different. But like the plot lines are kind of the same, but they're also very starkly different. As in where, in my opinion, I think I prefer this over Crescent City. I would need to do a reread of Crescent City to like prove that theory, but I truly think that I like this story more than I like Crescent City, just because of how fast Darien Castle becomes so down bad for Loren. No, In this book, you are following Loren Calla, who has been all her life ordinary. She's a human, no powers. And she lives in a city full of like supernatural beings. You have werewolves, you have hellsayers, you have vampires, you have witches, and so on and so forth. One day, she ends up getting attacked. Her and her friends are out, and her friend gets kidnapped. But who they really were after was Loren. And so now she's wondering why they're after her. And when Darien Castle gets the order to bring her in, he's like, okay, I'll do it. But then he gets to her and he sees her and realizes that she's human. He's like, I don't know why I'm after you. So instead, I'm going to protect you. And we're going to get to the bottom of who's after you and why they're after you. Also, the found family in this, yeah, beautiful, stunning. I can't wait for more of it in book 2. Whatever book 2 brings, it's going to be heartbreak. It's going to be sad. I am not ready for that. But it is okay. Because we made it through book 1, and book 1 was a tough one, okay? So yeah, this is number 9. In 8th place, we have the Jasmine Throne by Tasha Shuri. If you have been around long enough, if you have been around since September is when I read this, I believe, you know how much I enjoy this book. So much so that I literally ended up buying the last 2 books in the series without ever reading them. I read this from the library and immediately was like, I need a physical copy, so I went and got a physical copy off of Pango, and this has become my prized possession because, baby, the sapphic yearning. I didn't know I needed a sapphic book like I needed this. Like, this gave me such a breath of fresh air. You're rudely interrupting me, Nala. This gave me such a breath of fresh air to, like, have a sapphic fantasy book. I need more. Are there more? Could I have more? I need more. If you have sapphic fantasy book recs, leave them down below. This was so... The yearning. Not even just yearning. The plot. The world. The characters. So good. So... there's not a day that goes by that I don't wonder what these characters are up to, and I know I have the answers. I know the answers are right here behind me in books 2 and 3. I know, but I don't want to ruin the perfect picturesque thing I have going on with this book. Okay? I don't want to ruin that. There are characters going to die. I can feel it. There are characters who are going to die, and I can't do it. But in this book, you are following Princess Melina and the maidservant Priya as Princess Melina is like trapped and outcast by her really despotic brother. He's evil, downright evil brother. And so she's kind of alone in this place, but she wants to escape and be able to take down her brother. She wants to escape, get to her other brother so they can take down this brother who's very evil. And so that's where Priya comes into the picture. She realizes that she is very different from all her other maidservants, and that she knows more than she's letting on about the place that Melina is trapped in. And they form sort of an alliance where they're helping each other out here. And yeah, no, the yearning. Yeah, the yearning. The atmospheric setting we have in this book. All of it, like the whole thing together is just so like picturesque and perfect that I don't want to ruin that, but also at the same time, I need to know. There's so many plot twists towards like the last like 150 pages that I have questions. I have doubts, I have many things to ask. So yeah, look at how floppy this is. This is also what I want to show you. It's floppy, like, anyways, good job with them. The next book is my number 7. This is a placeholder for the actual book, but it's in the same series. And my, technically, 7th place is Lady of Shadows by Melissa K. Rourke, which is the second book in the Lady of Darkness series. But because I don't want to not have a book to hold up, because I have one for every, like, one, I'm just going to hold this up. I will be purchasing book 2 pretty soon here, probably, because I need to get back into the series very desperately. Like, it's a desperate need to get into the series. Everything. So, yeah. But Lady of Darkness / Lady of Shadows by Melissa K. Rourke. You were following Scarlet, who was owned by the ruthless assassin lord. And her and her 2 sisters were trained by him to be like some of the most ruthless assassins in this kingdom. But after an incident a few years ago, Scarlet has kind of been living the low life, not being an assassin and stuff, when she is presented with a task, and the assassin's lord is like, if you do it, I will tell you who your mother's killer is. Because her mother was killed when she was younger and they never knew who did it. And so she's presented with that. But when children began disappearing, she puts all her plans on hold for that, because this relates back to something that was happening a few years ago. And so she's like, I'm going to tackle this. And so with the help of General Soren, they get to the bottom of this mystery. There's so much more than just that. Like, there's so many intricacies for this that's like the top layer that I can give you. But also it's sort of that's literally explained on the back of the book. I didn't read this word for word, but I kind of skimmed it before we talked. But Scarlet, you know how we have Shadow Daddies? I think Scarlet is going to end up being a Shadow Mommy. And Lady of Shadows, this world that we grow to learn in Lady of Darkness, blows up in your face. Like, so much is explained to you. You learn so many new things. Like, when I say this is just the beginning, and a lot of people say this reminds them of Throne of Glass, and I can see the similarities, but I can also see the very stark differences from Throne of Glass of this series. And Lady of Shadows just proved to me that I have no clue where the fuck Melissa K. Rourke is going with the story. Because This one, you pretty much got the story, you know, the baseline, you got the pretty much the world building. Book two, it blows up in your face so badly, you're like, what the fuck is gonna happen next? The ending of that one, this is a series I'm going to reread and resume, so I am going to be rereading book one soon. Don't even get me started on it, okay? Don't even get me started on, like, how good the book is. Seeing Scarlett's character growth from book one into book two, and seeing the relationships that she built in book two after kind of closing herself off from everybody after the incidents prior to book one happening, you're like, progress is made. You feel proud of her. And, like, the characters that we get to meet and, like, the family that we are building, I can tell you right now, this book series is going to be up there with, like, the Cruel Prince series for me because of how deeply I feel for these characters. Like, I can't even explain it to you, and I've only read the first two books. In sixth place, we have The Book of Azrael by Amber Marie Nicole. Is anybody shocked? Is anybody shocked? I feel as if I have read this book, my personality, for the last couple months. Like, since I read this, it has been, like, something I talked about nonstop, thought about nonstop. Like, it's consuming me. It is consuming me after months of me being read it. I think I read this back in, like, September. Right around the time I recorded that Can I Predict 5-star prediction video. This. I love this so much. It was so good. In this book, you are following Diana as she works for this guy named Cade. And the Cade is on the search for the Book of Azrael. Nobody really knows why, or at least Diana doesn't know why. She just knows that he wants this dumb book, in her opinion. And it's possible that them searching for this book could bring back the old thought dead gods. And they're correct, because when Samkiel comes back after some events, she's like, oh shit, gods are real. I should probably switch sides to get away from Kanan, because he did some deep shit and doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And so she decides to help Samkiel look for the Book of Azrael. And that's all I'm going to tell you. This packs a punch. Both of my characters have some major trauma, okay? But the major trauma that they work through together, the way they bond together, and it's not trauma bonding. They're healing each other very much so. Like, and like seeing that, and them not trauma bonding, gave my heart a little squeeze. Samkiel, I would have eaten him up like there's no tomorrow. Like, let me bring him, let him be real. Let me have him. Diana as well, like, she's a bad bitch. I love a bad bitch main character, and that is Diana, okay? Don't even try, okay? She is her. She is the moment. I don't know what else you want. This world, I feel like there's so much to come to light. I DNF book 2. I saw DNF book 2 at like 60%. But that's because the 60% took me like 2 weeks to get through. I was slugging. I made the mistake of reading City of Gods and Monsters and then going into book 2, knowing book 2 is like 600 pages. Dumbest mistake somebody can make. Why would you read 2 chunky books back to back? You're dumb. So I slumped myself out a bit, but I am going to go back to it pretty soon because I need more. I need Diana. I need Samkiel. Yeah. These are like my 5 6-star reads right here, okay? But in 5th place, we have All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It feels wrong to put this on here because I just recently, like a couple days ago, finished Bad Blood, and I was also 5 fucking stars. Yeah, Jennifer Lynn Barnes ate with that. I cannot lie. But we have All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the 3rd book in the Natural series. So to give you a synopsis of the Natural series, I've said Naturals 5 times now. We are following a group of teenagers, 4 of them specifically, as they are recruited to the FBI to kind of solve cold cases because they have skills that take a very long time to learn, that like you need to go to the FBI Academy for and like take classes on these, but these skills come naturally to all these kids. So we have Din and Cassie, who are basically like the BAU. They can profile you based on like behavior, personality, and your environment and stuff like that. We have Leah, who is a human lie detector. Literally, can detect when people are lying. Not detect, but she can tell when people are lying and can lie very well herself. You have Michael, who can read emotions through body language and facial feeds, like facial movements and stuff. And then you have Sloan, my baby Sloan, who is very good with statistics and things like that. I knew the further we got into the series, the more likely book 3, and 4 would be 5 stars. Book 1 I gave 4, book 2 I gave 4.5. This one and the last one are definitely 5 stars. I cannot stress to you enough how good this is. If you are looking for Criminal Minds in book form, but make it YA, I will give you all 4 of my books to read yourself. Like, take it. I enjoyed these way too much. Truly, way too much. I think about these characters all the time, especially with recently finishing the series off. I can't, like, I missed them already. Like, I feel like I'm itching for a reread already, even though I know what happens. The plot twist that differently Bars comes at you. She sprinkles little crumbs in there for you to try and pick up on, but there's so much else going on that you can't. There's also a love triangle, and the character that the way that the character ends up with, love it. We're following Cassie. She's the like newest recruit to the Naturals. This is the 3rd book. I can't really tell you much about it, but I can tell you that it follows more of like Sloane's kind of storyline that we get little pieces of. I love Sloan. That's my baby Sloan. She's so cute. I love her to death. I cannot stress that. Anyways, 5 stars. We're taking a very drastic turn here with book 4. Okay, like book 4 is very drastic to all in, but it's very drastic from everything in this pile. Because for the majority of this pile, it has been fantasy. Yeah, 5 out of the 8 books that like I've shown you so far has been fantasy or whatever. And not 8. I don't even, don't mind me, my math's off. But we have Hunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton, which is the 2nd book in the Cat and Mouse duets. Before we get into the nitty gritty and I tell you how I feel about this book, please look up your trigger warning. This is a very, 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 very dark romance, where our main character, when our MMC literally stalks our FMC, breaks into her house. It's a lot of stuff going on, okay? It's really a lot. I cannot stress that to you enough. I can't even list the trigger warnings out to you on YouTube, because if I did, this would get taken down. But I knew what I was going into when I read this duet. So I knew what I was expecting. I knew it was dark. I knew that it was going to be nitty gritty and that it was going to be hard to get through. So prepare yourself. If this is on your TBR, if it's on your radar and you want to read it, be warned. I'm warning you now. Okay. This one. After the events of book 2, after the ending of book 2, 300 pages of this book, half of this book was pure pain. Like this part right here, pain. Pure pain. Like sadness, pain, anger, like it is, I can't even stress to you. As I said to you, this is a stalker romance where like our FMC is a author, and she's at a book signing for herself in the city when our MMC sees her and is like, I want her, she is mine, I have marked you, you are mine, nobody else can touch you, and starts stalking her. Yeah, but it's okay because Zane, our MMC, is literally, he hunts downs, okay, and them, okay. Can't say it out loud. Like I said, that's just not YouTube worthy, but it's very good. I really enjoyed this duet. I didn't think I would. I gave book one 4.5 just because there were some things I couldn't get behind, but then we got to this one and I was like 5. If you know me at all, I don't cry when I read books. I don't really cry at all. It's very hard for me to cry. Actually, I haven't cried in like 3 weeks, actually. Maybe I'm due for a cry session. Anyways, this made me cry. Any book that makes me cry is almost immediately a 5-star because I'm not an easy crier. Books that people say are gonna make me cry don't make me cry. I read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, gave it like 3 stars, and I didn't cry. Yeah, so, anyways, Hunting Out of Time by H.G. Carlton. But the first one we have is The Spirit Bears the Seed by Andrew Joseph White. As you can see, I have Hellfall But Us back there displayed. Because if you know me, you know that I love that book. And if you know anything about me now, since I've recently read this book, you know that he has become an autobiography for me, and I regret nothing. I am going to be purchasing Compound Fracture, and I will be reading that book. And when I do, it will probably be displayed somewhere on my shelf. Don't know where quite yet. What? Don't know quite where yet. But in this book, you are following, what's his name? Silas, right? Yes, you are following Silas Bell in like the 17th century. No, London, 1883. I was wrong. You're following Silas Bell in the London 1883, where there are people born with purple eyes, which means that they can see like dead people basically, or they can see through the veil of the living world and the dead. And so he is also trans. When one day he dresses up to go to this ball as a man, gets caught, and then gets sent to this school for girls to like kind of be reformed into like ladies who are meant to be like married off to these very disgusting and disturbing men. And there's so much more at stake here when he gets to that school or whatever, and I love this. I cannot stress to you how important this story is for like people, no matter if you're straight, gay, queer, whatever, like no matter what you are, they'll feel as if this is a very important story. This has autism rep, it has ADHD rep, it has tons of queer rep. It is, and it's gross, it's dark, it is twisty, it is gory. It's a lot to take in, especially if you're not the type of person who can read those type of things. But it is so well done because of how Andrew Joseph White tackles these types of stories, and I love it. Silas, my baby, I love you. You are perfect in every single way that you can imagine you to be. Guys, I already want to reread the book, and I only read this book a few months ago. And like I cried reading this one as well. So like thinking about this, oh, it makes me want to cry. Let me stop. Let's stop talking about it. 6 stars. I cannot stress to you enough how important I feel like this read is to people. And I also feel like Andrew Joseph White should be like a more well-known author. Book number 2 is Direbound by Samuel Sorensen. Are we shocked? No. You're probably shocked it's not number 1, but you're not shocked it's on this list. So, Direbound. I read this in my predicting 5 stars video. Absolutely loved it. Flabbergasted. I was shocked. It's good. It's good. I got it. I got the hype. I understand. I locked in. It was good. In this book, you are following Marin, who has always pretty much had a deep hatred for the bonded because they live in such luxury and not a care in the world for how like the lower classes live. When her sister is taken, she is desperate to cross the front and save her sister. And so to do that, she must get trained in the army. But when she's trying to get in, initiate and stuff, she ends up getting bonded to a wolf, which is dire wolf, which is the last thing she freaking wanted, and now she must survive 4 months of training at the castle. And she is bound to a feral dire wolf who basically seems like she wants nothing to do with her. Yeah, so I didn't know I was going to like this going in. I just knew it had recently come out. I was like, I want it. I'm going to read it in a video. One of my favorite books of all time. I cannot wait for Fury Bound. Like, I truly, one of, if not the best things I have ever read in my life. This was so good. I can't stress it enough. This was so good. And bear with me, I'm just so excited about this book. But like, Marin, her development from page 1 to the end. The plot twist in said book. The yearning we get at the end of the book when plot twists come to light. I'm gonna go barrel in book 2 for some romance. I need more romance. I'm gonna go feral for it in book 2. I can already feel it. It's gonna be bad. But Samuel Sorensen, y'all did your thing. If you didn't know, Samuel Sorensen has 2 authors. So they did their thing. I also want, one thing I do have to say, I want book 2 to be dual POV now that we have some things shed. Now that we know some things. Obviously, this one couldn't be in dual POV because we didn't know so many like bits and pieces of this story. So I definitely want book 2 to be like dual POV. That's my only like strife with this. So, my number 1 book of the year. I'm giving you a few seconds to guess. Take your guesses. Like I said, this book and Dire Bound fought for this spot in my head. Yeah, this one literally tops the cake. And the book is Children of Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent, which is the second book in the War of Lost Heart series by Carissa Broadbent. I mean, who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? This was like one of my first 5 stars of 2025. Who am I? It's actually more like 6 stars because this book series means the world to me. This is up there with like Cool Prince level of love. And we all know how much I love these silly little books about a prince and his enemy. This? I'm actually doing a reread right now. It's coming your way soon. I hope you're ready. So with that being said, this book right here, love it. If you don't know what this series is about, we are following, in the first book, we are following Tasana as she escapes basically slavery and goes to this magic order, and she's like, help me because I want to help people get out of bad situations. And like, sure, we can help you. I can't like really go into too much detail, but she ends up getting partnered with this guy named Max, and he is like kind of forced to train him. At first he's very reluctant about it, but then something happens between them and he's like, fine, we can do it. And he starts training her and things happen. It's just so good. I literally love this so much. Look at this cover. Look at my baby Tasano. Look at her. She's such a baddie. Oh, I love this book with all my being. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how to tell you without sounding like a crazy maniac how much I love this story. Tasana and Max have my heart. This romance is so pure and lovable because, again, no trauma bonding. Like, yes, they have some traumatic things, but they're healing each other in one way or another. And to see them be so patient with each other after Tasana has never really been in love before, and then Max was in love one time before but got betrayed. This shit right here really hit me in my chest. This world expands. You get a third point of view added into this and give you some backstory about some things. And I cannot wait to read the last book for the first time this year in 2026. I can't wait to reread this because I've only read this once now, and I'm so ready to go back into this. Like, I can't even explain to you, like, how much this, like, means to me. Like, it is so fantastically written. The way Carissa Broadbent wrote this and, like, made these characters. Again, Proud Family, the action scenes, the like love scene, like the little cutesy little romance scenes that we get thrown in between to kind of break the tension of whatever's going on. This book is my love. It is perfect in every way. No ifs, ands, or buts, no notes, no nothing. This has changed me for the better. And there you have it, folks. My top 10/11 books of the year. We got a hefty stack here. I don't know how I'm going to put these for a thumbnail photo, but oh no, don't you dare fall. There we go. There we go. I cannot believe the year I had in 2025 for I only had five stars. Only 5 perfect books. Hopefully I can find more than that in 2026. That aren't rereads, obviously. But what a good book. I already have 1 5-star and it was my second read of the year. So, but with that, guys, I will leave you. I will try to edit this down as much as I possibly can because I think this is like a 40-minute video. You will see how much I have possibly edited down, down there when you see how long the video is. But I digress. I will see you guys in my next one. I hope you have a great day, evening, night, morning, afternoon, and whatever part of the world you are having it in. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, do whatever you want to do. That's up to you. But I will see you guys in my next one. Good.